What is up, everybody? Welcome into the John Johnson III episode 43 of the Barking Browns Show. I am your host, Jacob at Roachism13 on Twitter, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Nick Carnes at Carnsies817 on Twitter. Nick, how are we doing tonight, my friend?
Hi, Jacob. Like as promised, we've got the full Fu Manchu going.
A Lannister always pays his debts.
You know what though? I was like, you rocked that thing, and now everyone else can see that you rocked that thing.
I wore it on Christmas to all my family dinners. It wasn't quite as bushy or as powerful back then. It's also like a little lopsided, and I keep like trying to adjust it, and it's a little choppy on here. But you know what? I will pay my debts. With great Fu Manchu comes great responsibility and a great episode. I will try to be serious with this Fu Manchu as you stare at me and try to take me seriously. Fire away the comments. Producer Ed is monitoring the Twitter comments and all the ones. He's going to probably filter out the ones that will hurt my feelings. So he might not. I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. I don't think he's telling me he won't. Okay. All right. So I want to thank everybody for the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, all the views at my articles over at Dog Pound Daily. Thank you guys so much. I am beyond blessed to be a contributor over at Dog Pound Daily and to have you guys give a shit about my opinion. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The best thing you can give to anybody is their time. Thanks once again for giving some of your time to us. We have a great show tonight, some great guests. It is indeed girls' night. So I should have worn some, I don't know. I think the Fu Manchu is like the opposite of girls' night. So like, I don't think any girl walks into a bar on girls' night, sees a Fu Manchu and goes, going home with that tonight. I don't think so. No? Okay. No takers. All right. Good. So before we are going to bring on our producer, Ed, who is watching in the comments. Ed, what do we got going on tonight's show, my friend?
It's ladies' night. Come on. Let's all celebrate. Absolutely. Going to have a great show. Episode 43, John Johnson III. We've made it 43 episodes. Barking Browns is going strong, and we're going to have a great show. And because it's got a little female influx, and that's always a good thing when we're talking about our Cleveland Browns. So fire those Twitter comments to me. I'm ready for them. And Jacob, I will not filter the comments, but I'll say one thing. You enter a bar with that Fu Manchu, you're walking home with any lady that you want that night. Hey, now.
I appreciate that, my friend. Ed will be back in a little bit for Ed's nuances. Ed's go for it. I got confused. Sorry.
About that Fu Manchu, man, you got me all hot.
Ooh, hot and bothered. I'm hot and bothered on myself. So, hey.
All right.
All right, keep firing the comments away, guys. Before we bring our guests on, I wanted to take a little opportunity to do my draft corner at the beginning of the episode. And ask Nick if he has any other things. We are going to we're going to do my draft corner here. I want to highlight a couple of prospects. I released a 7-round mock for Dog Pound Daily last Saturday. You can go check that out over at dogpounddaily.com if you want to check that out. It does have me. It is the beginning of my love affair with Matt Ariza, the punter from San Diego State. You'll notice that I also posted a mock draft over today on my Twitter where I still took the punter Matt Ariza out of Arizona State. Listen, the dude averaged over 51 yards a punt last year, which would have put him second in the NFL. That's all I'm saying. We were one of the worst punting teams in the NFL last year. We would have been second if Matt Ariza was our punter. That's all I'm saying. Field position still matters in the league, in my opinion. You can disagree with me if you want to, but that's what I think. So I'm going to talk real quickly about the draft before we bring on our special guests. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl with them. We're going to talk about, I'm going to play a fun game at the end that will get me buried on Browns Twitter. So I am so excited for that at the end. Nick's nuances is coming up a little bit later on. Ed's go for it. We're going to hear about Ed's exploits in Cleveland this weekend. So he is going to all the dirty laundry. Nick's going to air it for Kelly. And so she's going to find out. And I know that she probably doesn't. She said she doesn't care what he did and we can take him back. But I don't know. I've heard some stories, Kelly. I'm telling you, I've heard some stories. But we'll talk about that in just a little bit later on. There's a guy I want to talk to you guys about real quick. I took him today. I actually mocked him all the way up in 98. I had been taking him in the late 4th or early 5th round. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Tyler Smith, the tackle from Tulsa. Tyler Smith is cut from the same cloth as Wyatt Teller. So he is this big, mean, nasty, physical, just nasty and mean player. I mean, like I keep saying nasty and mean, but like, you know, when we think about Wyatt Teller, we get like chills, right? About him just laying out pancakes. And then he was dancing on Twitter yesterday. So like hands out pancakes and he can dance. What more could you want from a right guard in the NFL? What can't he do, right? So I'm talking about Tyler Smith. If you want it, you always ask, and I heard Stephen Thomas say this on the OBR last night when they were doing their dueling mocks with Jeff Lloyd. Maybe.
Who's
Jeff joins us soon.
Jeff? Did I hear Jeff?
That's a possibility. I don't know. So we will actually, by the way, next week's episode will be on Thursday. It will be our first live mock draft on the show season.
Oh, I'm excited.
So we will be doing that. Anyway, so Tyler Smith, Tulsa. You want to go and see him. Stephen Thomas always says, what do you do against the best competition on your schedule? Go check Tyler Smith. Did I say Tyler Smith? Yeah, it's Tyler Smith's his name. I don't know what I keep saying if I keep mispronouncing his name. But go watch him in the second game of the season when he played Ohio State. I know that Tyler Smith wasn't going up against like Joey Bosa or Chase Young or anything like that, but it was Ohio State. For a smaller school like Tulsa, that is the best team you're going to face most of the time. And I mean, Ohio State, you know, they were a very good football team this year, right? So excuse me. Tyler Smith is going to maul people. You're looking for a guy Tyler Smith reminds me of both a little bit of James Hudson, but also the mean nasty of Wyatt Teller. So he's much further along. He has much more experience than James Hudson. Hudson doesn't have a ton of experience. Tyler Smith is this guy that remember when Blake Hance is not a tackle. We had to put Blake Hance out there. Tyler Smith is a significant upgrade at depth. If you were to let Chris Hubbard go and you had added Tyler Smith with James Hudson, I would be fine. I would truly be fine. I think he's been a career left tackle. James Hudson started to come along a little bit more at the right tackle. Maybe you let James Hudson focus there, right? Because he only had 11 career starts at left tackle to begin with. Why not let him focus at right tackle or left tackle and move Tyler Smith over there? It doesn't matter. But why not let these two young guys truly focus on one side instead of trying to force them, unless they're truly ready, to play both sides? Tyler Smith's a guy that I mocked today at 98. This is a guy from a small school that a lot of boards have at 130. Watch Tyler Smith at the combine this year. I assume he's getting an invite. This guy just moves bodies, and you do not move him. You will not bull rush Tyler Smith. I like him a lot. I want you guys to pay attention to Tyler Smith, and that is this week's Draft Corner focus.
I like it. You have a good habit of getting me excited about random people that I have no idea who they are or have never seen play. So that's pretty exciting. I'm excited because we do have a little mock draft action coming up.
Ew.
It's going to be good. A little hint for you.
Can't Say Anime says, what's with the handlebar? It's a Fu Manchu. I lost a bet here on the show. We made a bet with AJ a few weeks ago about the playoff bracket. Me and Nick tied our playoff challenge, so we both lost. He will mohawk it up here soon.
Yeah, we still got all his hair
up for the episode.
So we're working on it. At some point here, I think when it gets a little bit warmer is going to be mohawk season. But true story, we've got someone on tonight that is a professional mohawk giver.
That is what I was told. That is what I just heard. I was just told she's a professional mohawk giver, and she will take care of that situation that he has going on. All right, guys, we are going to bring on our first guest here. She is a longtime friend of the program. We attempted to say hello to each other in person week 3 of the NFL, and the shitty internet just didn't allow us to send DMs quick enough back and forth while we were in the stadium. And also Nick was really drunk. We had to get him back home, and that just kind of, we had been tailgating since 7 a.m. So we are going to bring on the amazing, our great friend, Ashley. Ashley, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I mean, I got a Fu Manchu, so.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So we had sent out these topics. We had said, you know, we're going to bring on Ashley, and we're bringing on, and Kelly, Ed's wife, will be on with us in just a little bit. And we got you guys prepared. I said this last week when we had Abby Mueller on, that I wanted to ask each guest as they came on about Baker Mayfield. And I understand that. I understand that some people are going to tell me, stop talking about Baker Mayfield. It's annoying. That's all everybody talks about. Well, but here's the problem. That is the biggest, best, most important position in football. We just watched it. Go watch those playoffs and tell me. You looked at, we had, let me think real quick. The 4 championship games, only one of them didn't have an elite quarterback. And that team had a really good, really elite weapon in Deebo Samuel, who really, and George Kittle. Don't forget about him. So he had average quarterback play. So out of 3 of the 4 championship games were elite quarterbacks. Elite quarterback, the quarterback that made more plays on Sunday in the Super Bowl was Matt Stafford. So let me ask you first. We'll circle back to the Super Bowl because I already started this. So where are you in? You don't have to fully be in or fully out, but where are you as we stand here on February 16th with Baker Mayfield?
Well, I'm happy 2-1-6 day, by the way.
Yes.
6th day.
But I'm a very big fan of Baker's as a person, as an athlete in general. I stand behind him. He's our quarterback. That's period, point blank. Whoever is at that position, whoever Stefanski and AB decide is the guy for me. But saying that, I do think he put his foot in his mouth this past year, and I think he should have not said anything at all, because really, in reality, if you are healthy enough to play and you're going to say you're healthy enough to play
over and over and over,
you better be healthy enough to make the plays that we need. And I think a healthy Baker might have been the difference between a couple of these games, and he got in his own way. And I do think that is a little bit on Stefanski and AB for not putting their foot down, because he's like, I make the decisions. But honestly,
that was a weird comment, wasn't it? Like, did anybody else? Yeah.
I didn't understand like what that meant. And that might have been where like the tear in the locker room would be if there was one, or like, you know, between coach and QB. But honestly, I think a healthy Baker is more accurate. I think he got his happy feet back. I think he didn't trust his O-line. I don't think he was trusting his receivers because they were dropping too. And I think it was a recipe for disaster this season.
Side note, I just realized that when I tried to put tonight's title as It's Girls Night, y'all, I put it as It's Girls, y'all. So there you go.
Well,
it is. So
there you go.
I like, that's even better.
Nick, you had something to.
Well, just off of what you said, Ashley, I guess I hadn't really thought about that until now. That's a really good point. Like, so if Baker,
it's a really
good
place. It's a really good point. Yeah.
If it's Baker's decision to go out and play, and then he's playing like that, obviously that's going to cause a problem, right? Whereas like normally, you know, if it's not Baker's decision to play, then you can't really blame him, right? If he's still going out there. I hadn't thought about that, you know, because like obviously like Ashley and you know, we've all heard about like the locker room issues, but there hasn't really been any like, you know, hard substance
stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I hadn't thought about that until now. That's a quite the piece of the puzzle right there that I wonder if like, are they just gonna sweep all that stuff under the rug like as we move forward?
I feel like I'm really just going to chalk it up to injury and the fact that he wasn't trusting his O-line, which was also injured half of the season. he just put his foot in his mouth. I mean, if he hadn't said anything, like you said, the weight would have been off of him. He's trying to play for a contract. He wanted it. He tried to prove it. It didn't work. And we suffered because of it for most of the season. So I know we're going over like disappointments, but like that's
we can go whatever direction you want to go when you want to go.
You asked me, you said probably what my biggest disappointment was, or player wise. And I have to go with Baker because I just expect more of him. Like he's seasoned. He's been in the league for 4 years now, almost 5. And he's been really most of the time good with the media the last couple of years, not like those first couple of years where he was just spouting off random stuff. And I feel like he put his foot in his mouth again this year. And it was small bits, but those small bits made a huge difference. And I had expectations because of the things that he was saying, and he didn't follow through on them. And I felt a little bit let down, but really, I do think the injuries were affecting him more than what he was letting on. He can be cleared by a medical doctor, but if you're not making the good decisions and your accuracy is affected, which is a big thing that we've seen from him, that's going to be a big factor for me, someone like me that's watching. And I remember 2019 and I was like, I don't have to worry about the quarterback. And I like that. But now I'm worrying about the quarterback and I don't want to anymore.
It was so nice for at least a year to be just free of quarterback talk.
2 off seasons.
2. Well, yeah, 2. Said 2. But really, where I mean, at least like leaving 2020, you could defend like that was like the highest level.
2019 was weird because of the Freddie year after that. Yeah. But after 2018, we felt fine. After 2020, we felt fine. This year, I'm not doing a ton of quarterback work because they're just not good. Like they just aren't good. But like
you're talking about the draft.
Yeah. I'm not doing a ton, but I am still doing quarterback work, and I hate it. This is something I'll build off of your point, Ashley. Here, when we talk about his accuracy and we talk about the injury, you have to talk about his throwing motion. He has an incredibly violent throwing motion. Listen, I hate the happy feet. His field vision was awful. His mechanics and his footwork and his field vision, it was bad. And it got worse. And I think that was compiling on itself. I think that's how we got there, that a lot of it had to do with the early stuff. Shit rolls down a hill, it gets bigger, it knocks you out, right? So like, I think that was part of it. But that violent throwing motion where he just rips himself. Yeah, man, you can't do that when you can't move one of your arms. So it absolutely affected it. It absolutely affected the accuracy. And I think, and Cancel Anime says he wasn't trusting his arm. That was something I saw too. Mm-hmm. I'm going to write a piece soon about Baker. It will be coming out on Dog Pound Daily in the next coming couple of days. And one thing I think is his best asset is his confidence, and he didn't have it by the end of the year. He told us he had it, but he didn't have it. I remember in 2019 thinking the same thing. I was terrified that Freddie had ruined this confident, cocky, swagger player. And it felt like that happened again. And people will tell me that Stefanski neutered him. You're not watching the same game. Stefanski ran empty sets 5 wide, and he ran shotgun a very, very high percentage, and he let Baker tear it up or let it rip. Baker just couldn't complete it. Now, his receivers sucked. They stink. I've said that as well. But I have a lot of issues because we saw some bad mechanics, right? And some bad habits that I think came from the injury. I'm worried about unlearning those.
Yeah.
He definitely has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And I think this year we will have a definite answer. I think this year, knock on wood, barring injury,
right.
We'll have an answer and I think next year's draft class will be better for us to choose from too. I don't know much about draft stuff, but this year I did look into that a little bit, and I'm telling you, like, we will figure it out this year.
CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, come on.
It's hard to imagine that they would really let it go any more beyond year 5. I think, like even regardless of circumstances,
You
when
can't
you're just
unless
up down, like that's not a realistic way to build for success. And so
if Baker is not a top 12 quarterback, so let's say he comes back, because I'm still not sold. And let's say he comes back. If he comes back and he's not top 12, gone.
you got problems. Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Thought too, if they give him a contract in 2021, right before the season starts, if they give him a contract and he gets injured week 3, do we have a different season on our hands? Is he trying to play for that contract, or are we seeing more?
Okay, so you're saying same season. So you're saying last summer he got an extension and then he still gets hurt. Okay.
You think we see more Case Keenum?
No, we're fine. We're fine. We're not having that conversation right now. If he goes out, he wanted to show that his value was so great that even 90% of him was better than, or I'm sorry, 80, because by the end of the season he was like 70%, but like that 80 or 90% of Baker was better than than Case Keenum and all these other backups and all this stuff, and it backfired. I think the smartest thing for him would have been to shut it down. I think that's where the overconfidence took off. So if he shuts it down after getting a contract, are we talking about changing quarterbacks? No, because we still wouldn't definitively know think about that. If look at him against Kansas City and look at him against Houston, he was really good. So all of this year that we had seen from him this year would have been really good. And the last bit we would have seen from him in the playoffs in last year was really, really good. He signed an extension and then he went down. No, we wouldn't be having this conversation. No.
Yeah.
I think you're definitely right. I was looking real quick because I couldn't remember what exactly Colin Sexton tore, but I think there's kind of parallels in the fact that with Sexton, like it's not really a matter of if he's going to get paid. It's like who's going to pay him, and so like there's not this big issue for him, whereas with Baker, it's like if Baker shuts it down when he gets hurt, he's going into year 5 without a deal. So maybe if it was his decision to play, like you were saying, maybe he decides not to play, right? If he has
Sexton was a meniscus.
Yeah. Thank you. But my point was that Baker is under so much more pressure because his injury, whereas he's kind of got that option, he doesn't have any security beyond year 5. So I don't know.
Well,
I'd like to hope that they didn't give him the power to decide if he could play, because it's too much. There's too much at stake there. You can't make an unbiased decision.
I just think that whoever made the mistake, it was a mistake. Yeah. That being said, if he's showing a lot of his listen, now we have seen when things go wrong twice. When they go wrong, he cannot out-talent things going wrong around him. Okay? So he is not elite. Does that mean he can never be elite? I don't know, but I'm really tired of saying, can he? I need to know right now. I need to know more than I know. And the fact that I don't know, because there was so much I saw that was not the injury, that to me, it's like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. I want to put a pin on this because Howard asks, while we have to ride with 6, what is the best case plan B? Howard, I have a game that involves quarterbacks for the Browns in 2022 that all 5 of us are going to play at the end of the show, Howard. So I will get to your question. Kansas Anime brings up a good point. He's an undersized 6-foot guy. He has one of the strongest arms in the league because of his throwing motion. Absolutely. So let's talk about the Super Bowl, guys. Let's talk about the Super Bowl a little bit. We're going to ask you some draft questions, and Kelly's going to hop on for a little bit, and then Ashley's going to come back on with producer Ed, and we're going to play a nice little fun game. And like I said, guys, I'm going to take a very objective look at Baker and how he could succeed and how he could fail for Dog Pound Daily in the next couple of days. So be able to look out for that. So guys, the Super Bowl. I wanted to say the greatest halftime show I've ever seen. The New York Times were super upset that Snoop Dogg smoked weed before. I would have been super upset if Snoop Dogg hadn't smoked weed before he went onto that. The jokes about 50 Cent being a whole dollar made me laugh. Almost peed my pants the first time I saw that one. That was hilarious. Eminem, I rapped. I don't know all the words, but I always remember the mom's spaghetti part, and I always get so pumped up. I love that song. It's great. I love that. About the game, guys. How did you like the game? I thought it wasn't a particularly entertaining game. It was a decent game. It was a close game. It was kind of fun. It wasn't that great compared to we're still on that high from Bills Chiefs, right? Because that game was freaking phenomenal. So what'd you guys think of the game? We'll start with you, Ashley.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I took a break from football the entire postseason except for the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I was having pretty bad FOMO based on Twitter because everyone was going off about these games. And I was just like, I need a mental break after the Browns season. I worked weekends almost my entire career before this year. And so I watched every single Browns game. And this was not the year to watch every single game in its entirety.
No, it wasn't.
Nope. So I did watch the Super Bowl though, and it was definitely disappointing based on what I had heard about the postseason. However, I was pretty happy with the result. Not necessarily the OBJ stuff. I didn't want him to get hurt necessarily, but in the way that things went down, I was content with the result. I'm glad that the Cincinnati Bengals are not the only Ohio team with the Super Bowl ring right now.
That would be a very tough offseason.
Yeah, I do think Matthew Stafford deserved a ring after all of his suffering in Detroit. I do like him a lot, so I was happy that that happened for them. And I did think it was pretty. At the first quarter, I was like, this is going to be one of those games where nobody scores.
It felt like it.
Yeah, like that one Denver game of Peyton Manning. It was like, has Denver scored yet? And they hadn't scored at all until the third quarter or something.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I thought some of the commercials were good. There were some weird
there were some really weird
celebrities in the commercials. Yeah. That one, what was that one with the QR code? That was so satisfying.
Oh, the Coinbase one where it kept bouncing. Oh, I loved it.
Their website ended up crashing because they had, and I was like, whoever thought of that, they better have gotten paid good because that probably cost no money to make, and their website crashed.
They just had to pay for the actual ad. Would have been all that.
And when it hit the corner, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
But not that's football related, but the commercials are part of the fun, just like the halftime show. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was for the result that we got, I was happy with it as a Browns fan because this is probably the toughest Super Bowl. It's so much background going on it, and we really got that in the commentary, which really pissed me off.
Nick, I got some. You know what, Nick? You say what you thought, and then Ashley, I got some. I'm going to address that. Okay. Go ahead, Nick.
There's a lot that you both encapsulated, and I think you definitely. I enjoyed the commercials and all that stuff. We do some friendly wagers on the next animal to appear or the next car company. So it's fun trying to figure out who or what the commercial represents. I love that stuff. But you know what, for me, and I'm not trying to bash anyone that's rooting for the Bengals or rooting for Odell or whatever, but for me personally, I'm not going to root for somebody that's not wearing our uniform. And so it's like Joe Burrow went from just the upstart quarterback to the coolest dude in the league, in a single playoff run.
The coolest dude on earth, if we're
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So
I hate how cool he is.
So if they win the Super Bowl, he can be cool and all of that, but if they win the Super Bowl, it just again elevates one of our division rivals to this place that just the Browns have not been. And you know what? So it was hard, and we're all around the same age here. So I think I speak for the three of us when I say it was hard when we were younger because the Steelers were winning Super Bowls, the Ravens won a Super Bowl, our division.
Yeah.
And so it's like you automatically are like elevating, two of the teams in your division, like just above you because they're winning championships. And so at least within like the last decade, right? The Ravens won in what, like 14? So we're almost to a decade right now. Was it 14?
It was
I don't know.
14. Yeah, 14. No, I was.
Yeah.
Was it 12?
It
I'm
might have
not
been.
positive.
Because I'm thinking I was like 21.
Okay.
I
So
don't remember how old I was. I was drunk that whole year. I was 21.
Well,
but
I went
so
to
my
OU,
point, at
so-
least, though, is that at least in recent memory, none of the teams in our division have even gotten there, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a little easier. It's like, yeah, that like the Browns may have struggled, but it's not like, one of your direct rivals is rubbing it in your face with Super Bowl trophies and like all of that stuff. So for me, I'm just glad that the Bengals didn't win because I'm not ready.
Yeah, 12.
It's like, okay, 12. So it has been a decade. So I'm just not ready to for any one of the Bengals, Ravens, or Steelers to like be on that pedestal again. Like the Browns are supposed to be coming for that. And I know this is like a bit of a rant. I understand that, but I'm just
Totally
like,
fine.
I appreciate that because the Browns need to be there, not anyone else. We've suffered for long enough. I need that's what I need. And so, yeah, I'm glad the Bengals didn't win because I couldn't do it again. I could because then Joe Burrow goes from like the coolest dude in the league to like literally he's going to be the face of the league, or he's on that trajectory.
There was a wild overreaction I saw. I don't remember who it was on Good Morning Football. I'm trying to think of who it was, but he said that Joe Burrow is now the best quarterback in the AFC, and
Come
he's
on,
not better
man.
than Mahomes. He's not better than Allen. Maybe him and Herbert. He's good. He's good. He's really good. The Super Bowl went exactly how I thought it would. The Bengals went out, played really well. Their offensive line fell apart, and they were the reason they lost that football game. Did you see how open Jamar Chase was on that fourth down? You've seen that? Okay. Yeah. He was more open than I've seen. He cooked Jalen Ramsey, who got cooked a lot. Granted, that 75-yard touchdown was a massive pass interference on T. Higgins, but
that was when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I would be so pissed.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it on the initial play. And my buddy Isaac, he texted me. He's like, man, that was OPI. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because like I didn't see it.
The angle was weird, but based on how the Ramsey was acting, I was like, something is going on. He's expecting something. And then when I saw it, I was like, ooh, that would totally happen to us and it would get called for sure if it was
Absolutely it would.
Or it wouldn't if we were the team that it happened on. Like, yeah, I would have been mad.
Either way, it's going against us, like it.
Yeah, either way, we're not winning that. No way. I could bet on that and I would definitely win money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have I have some close friends that are Bengals fans, and I would have absolutely lost my mind. Ed asks if we saw that Donald was offsides on that play. Yeah, I don't know. There was some weird officiating there. He was offsides. So I want to say one thing, and then we're going to bring Kelly on for a little bit with Ed, and then we'll bring Ashley back on for our final segment in our game. And I wanted to say, come on. Odell wanted out. Stop. At some point, they said something about him being thrown out and needing a savior, and that God was looking over. Like, it got religious. It got. I love how Michael T was awful.
I think the direct quote was Cleveland threw him out on the street, and God led him to LA.
Yes, there it is.
It's seared into my memory.
Come on. I mean,
he had Daddy release a YouTube video or not release it, but because it was already out there. But he had Daddy post a YouTube video. He had his LeBron doesn't just text free OBJ, especially because allegedly LeBron's a Browns fan. That's what he says. You know that the company that was making all those free OBJ t-shirts, that he has ownership of that company? Come on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that was when they started early on it. And what I was prepared for What
A
I was
little,
prepared
yeah.
for was Baker and Odell. Like I was prepared for some commentary on
Yes.
how Odell's doing with Stafford in
Yep.
that scheme with those players. They have was it Cooks? He's gone. So
Yeah.
Odell kind of fills that number 2 slot, right? Because you have
Yep.
Cooper Kupp and like that's their guy really.
And Robert Woods went down, and
Yeah.
But the thing is in a Cleveland scheme, you're wide receiver 1, you're going to get the coverage. Cooper Kupp is wide receiver 1 in LA, so you're going to be able to get more of those plays, right?
And you got Tyler Higbee, who's really good.
Yeah, so I'm expecting, Baker slander, whatever.
Yep.
But the complete misinformation in the narrative that they were, and I read an article and they said that it was because that the league does not want people to think that you can just act like that and then get a release and good to go wherever you want.
But that's
and
what
I'm
happened.
like, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm like, that's fine, but more than once you're gonna talk about how he was just given, thrown away. AB worked hard on making sure he could pick where he wanted to go. That's classy. And I don't care who you are, but he was definitely not thrown to the streets.
And then they followed it up with the Browns fired Bill Belichick 26 years ago. I'm sorry, the Baltimore Ravens.
I was like, no. I was like, go away, just like the Browns did for 3 years, immediately following that. Because it was the Browns, but it was already Baltimore at that point.
The Baltimore Ravens fired.
And it's funny, too, because not only did Odell do that with the Rams, Jalen Ramsey did the same thing off of Jacksonville, right? And they just talk about how great Jalen Ramsey is and all this stuff. And these guys just are forcing their way out, and it's like Cleveland and Jacksonville are and I don't know if the Browns keep Odell, it probably gets even worse. So I know they're in a no-win situation, but honestly, I just I'm not hating on the Rams winning and Odell being on the team. I just don't like to see the James Harden stuff too. Dude asks for a trade, right? Forces his way off of an organization, and 13 months later, he gets to force his way off another organization, and just hold these groups hostage. I don't like people. I don't like seeing that thing get rewarded because it's Cleveland. We're never going to be the destination, right? So if all of a sudden players start doing this all the time, right? Inevitably,
it just makes it worse.
We're going to be on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, and I think somebody compared it to the NBA and how players kind of gang up on in the NBA like that. And for me, that is beyond me. I focus on the Browns. I know some of the bigger names in the other teams. I played fantasy for the first time this year, so I know a few more than I did last year. I didn't lose the season, so that was my goal, is to not be the loser. Yeah. I didn't either. But
there you go.
But I do think with being a Cleveland fan for so long, it's we're always getting shit on. I'm like, this is the biggest stage for the NFL, for sports in general.
We're not in the game.
We're not in the game. Give it a break. We've suffered enough. I'm sorry, but if you're just hating on us just to hate on us at this point, then what more better do you have to do? It shows more about them than it does about us. But it's so disheartening, and it really makes me angry, because I'm you don't know anything about it. Yeah. If you're going to go and spin it that way.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, we really appreciate your time. We're going to bring you back in just a little bit when we play our game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Ed, we're going to bring you on here for a second so that you can do the honors of introducing our next guest.
Okay, but before I do that, I got to give a shout out to all our listeners. We've got a big listening night. Papa Mick, Howard Schneider, Greg Blair, MC Lawrence, Manny Maxwell, Jonesy, Cole Bebe, Brown's Possum, Sir Andy, Rocco, Mike Kleeman, Mean Gene, Drew in Brick City, and Matthew. Thanks for watching. It's a great show. We appreciate you giving your time and watching this great show as well. And yes, with for no further introductions needed, Kelly is the best, my great wife. Let's go.
Hi, Kelly. How are you?
What's up?
It's good to see you, Kelly. We haven't talked in a little while. I was told that Ed did not replenish the Fireball supply, so he's in trouble.
What are you doing, Ed?
Worst Valentine's Day ever. I should have got the biggest bottle. He knows.
Oh, no.
I do know that. I do know that. That is true.
Ed, I've been told that you have a go for it, so we are going to let you fire that go for it, and then we'll talk to Kelly for a little bit, and then we'll bring everybody back on for a little activity at the end.
Okay, no, my go for it has to do with something that Jimmy Haslam had promised a couple years ago, but and it has to do with Columbus. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because with the Cincinnati Bengals' success in Central Ohio, I know Jimmy wants to rule the world, especially with Browns Nation, and we appreciate that. But I've been to Berea. You guys have been to Berea, and there had been talk about maybe moving training camp down to Columbus. And I think there's no better time than in the next few years to bring it down to C-Bus. But would you go for it if you're Jimmy Haslam? Because cha-ching, cha-ching, it's all about the dollars and the Haslams, which we have no problem with that. But bringing training camp down to Columbus because the Bengals.
So of course I'll go for it. Now listen, like I'll say this. The interesting thing about that is it is closer to more people.
Yes.
So
it is. They showed that the statistics of the amount of metropolitan areas that surround Columbus. You got Cleveland, Toledo, Dayton, you know what I'm saying, up that way. Even Indianapolis, so people from even Cincinnati that are Browns fans. I mean, even from Western Pennsylvania. I mean, it is a better centralized location. And let's be real, Berea, I've been there. It's kind of closed off, and they've tried to open up some things or whatever. But if Jimmy builds a brand new facility down here and opens it up, plus if you're the Browns players, I know that the Cowboys actually have their training camp out in California. So it kind of is kind of like a camp like setting, kind of like a Remember the Titans kind of movie, where the players kind of get away from that whole, because they're at Berea all year. So to them maybe something would be more like a college experience to them, get some camaraderie and maybe a little team bonding exercises and everything like that. Then you would maybe have these locker room divisions like we had last year, or what we've had the past couple years. It seems that way. I thought we had changed the culture, but it does seem like with I'll say one thing, Jacob and Nick, and you guys, I kind of got a question. Do you think Jarvis's silence, to me, that was kind of deafening?
Well,
I know he's friends with OBJ.
I said something bad about Jarvis yesterday, and all the culture bros came after me, and I muted the thread, and I went to bed because of some of the stupid shit that I saw. So I am not touching that question.
Yes, sir, but I'll touch it. I think that what all Jarvis had to say was, he's a quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, and I support my guy. He never once said that, now did he? Yeah, everybody's silence here is kind of
not publicly. No. It's interesting. It's interesting how Rashard Higgins said not everything has to be. What did he say? Not everything has to be on social media. Yet everybody on social media is taking the time to support Odell and not the quarterback. It's an interesting little conundrum.
Guys,
that's what I thought too. Now, I don't want to
dancing around a subject. We're dancing around a subject that I want to breach at the end of the show. So let's put that one in the side. Ed, we will talk to you here in a little bit. Go ahead.
But wait, he's got to go.
Nick, go for it. Is Nick going for it?
Yes. Sorry.
Oh, I'd like for training camp to be in Columbus.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can come down here, Nick. I'll treat you like a king.
Kelly wants it to be in Columbus because she'd get more alone time.
It's like they've put so much work into making the Browns facility there like better, and like you can see they're buying more and more of the houses there and like expanding. Or they're just buying up more space. I don't know specifically houses. And I like, it's like you bring all the rookies, especially to Cleveland, they get acclimated to the place they're gonna be, and I think it helps that area is like in Berea is like just a little. I mean, granted you're by BW, but like there's not huge businesses or anything. Like you're directly helping, all of that space there, and I like that. I like it being in Cleveland, and that's selfish of me. I'm totally fine with that, and I'm going to choose the selfish route.
Okay. It's the wrong answer, but it's okay.
Hey, those people make good money on parking once a year.
Well,
selling their like land, their yards for parking.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
Kelly, are you going for it?
Yeah. I am, because then I could go more.
There you go. That's the right question. That's the right answer.
Yeah.
That's the right answer.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Ed, we'll pull you in with Ashley here in a little bit to play my final game.
If only it was that easy in real life. Bye.
Kelly,
I can see him too. He's laughing.
I know I know we're gonna go into Baker and how you feel about it, Kelly, but I actually I want to ask you like the opposite thing just for a
No,
second.
you can go ahead because we're going to circle back to Baker for the final game. So if we want to go somewhere else with this time with Kelly, that's more than okay. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate that. I just, you know what?
Because I know you had some stuff too, and I was kind of dominating this episode, so I apologize.
I appreciate it, Jacob. I would like to know, because obviously Baker gets all this discussion, right? But there's so many other bright spots that the Browns have across the team. So I would like to know your Browns bright spot, whether it be something or a player, whichever.
This is the easiest question in the world. It's the fans.
Hmm.
That's the bright spot. Like, it's passed down from generation to generation. We are thick and thin, 0 wins, 2 seasons with 1 win. Hugh Jackson, like, we're still here. We may argue, but it just shows how much we love and our passion. And there's no fan base like that. And so for me, that's an easy one. Like players come and go, but we're here forever. Like my son, when he was little and Hugh Jackson, and he just started understanding football, he's like, Mom, why do we put on a team that's never going to win? What we do. It's what he was like little, like so little. And I was like, every Sunday though, since he's been born, it's just the way it is. And literally, but like you might have heard this before, but before my parents knew whether I was a boy or girl, because they didn't know until they had me, I had a Browns little shirt. Like I was a Browns fan before they knew if I was a boy or girl. Like it was done. And that's what makes it great. And when you go to the Muni lot and when you walk around, like even when I was in Disney during the Super Bowl, I'm not joking, there are still Browns fans out there wearing their Browns on Super Bowl Sunday, even though like we're not even close. Like we thought we were, but you know what I mean? Like that's what I love. Thick and thin, Super Bowl Sunday, we're still wearing our Browns gear because next year that's going to be us.
Yeah.
You know? So that is the highlight, the bright spot of it is all of us, and we all come together, even if we fight like brothers and sisters sometimes over Baker or Jarvis or whatever.
Well, I can tell you, Kelly, that I was with Ed for the majority of the Super Bowl day, and we both came to our gathering with Browns gear on. So you are far from alone.
I mean, I've been wearing Browns gear to Super Bowl parties, and people always make fun of me. But I'm like, you know what? There's going to be one Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, I'm wearing this, and I'm making fun of all you, and I can't wait.
Yeah. No, I just, you know what? Before, when I was earlier in the Browns Twitter, it was the Chiefs and the 49ers Super Bowl, and I said one day you're gonna wake up and it'll be the Browns playing on this day. And that was like, to date, that was like the biggest tweet I ever had, because it's like no matter what, I feel like you're right, the fans will continue to, it's like a lot of people decompress, and now we're all hopeful for next year again.
Yep.
Yeah. Jacob's over here.
Like when we lost to Denver, it was like devastating to me. I was crying my eyes out. My dad had to sit down and have a talk with me, and he said to me, I'm not gonna die till the Browns win a Super Bowl, so guess what, I'm gonna live forever. So there's a silver lining to this whole thing.
I love it. All we know is that my dad's gonna live forever, so who gives a shit? Yeah, there you go. I love it. That's how we have got to survive at this. Okay, Kelly, I want to ask you definitively. I want you to end this debate, all right? What Kelly says is what's going to go, and I'm going to stick to this. What Kelly answers this question, I'm going to follow until the draft in April. It's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Wide receiver. I still am not. I think most of us consensus we are sold they're going to take a wide receiver at 13. Maybe they trade back and they take a wide receiver. I really like trading back to 18. I could see New Orleans trying to jump up there for a quarterback, and you could slide back, add another second-round pick, and then get like Myjai Sanders and Travis Jones. And if you got Myjai Sanders and Travis Jones in the second round, I would just come all over my pants. Anyway, that's too far? Too far? A little bit?
I already have an answer to this because I already know who I want.
Okay.
Me and my son have had multiple conversations about this. The Ohio State, Garrett Wilson. I'm sorry, that's who I'm going with. That's my number one. That's who I want. So there you go.
Garrett Wilson is number one. He is
That's my choice.
absolutely number one. Let me ask you this. Let's follow this up. And then I'll
Okay.
ask Nick the same thing. In a lot of the mocks that I'm doing, he's gone. So
Wow.
most of what I'm doing, I get really upset with NFL mock draft database. I love their simulator. It's the one that I use for today's mock that I tweeted out. But freaking Minnesota takes Garrett Wilson like 9 out of 10 times, and they're at 12.
With
So like,
Justin
there's
Jefferson.
could you imagine Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Garrett Wilson? That would
No.
be stupid. But like, so I also like David Ojabo, the pass rusher from Michigan. So like, if I'm not going to take a wide receiver, it's probably going to be Ojabo. But every time I'm like, oh, look, Ojabo's going to fall to me, they'll take Ojabo 12 or they'll take Garrett Wilson 12. Like every time this algorithm knows it's going to piss me off. And so it'll do it every time. So
These get me every time, and they're always so wrong.
yeah.
But
If Garrett Wilson's gone, we're talking Jamison Williams, we're talking Drake London, we're talking Chris Olave, and we're talking Treylon Burks. And even another one, if you've got
that's
another
what
one.
that's what I
fine.
would go with is Treylon Burks.
You think it's
I
Treylon
think.
Burks?
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that
like
answer. I like that answer a lot. Nick, wide receiver 1, and if it is Garrett Wilson, wide receiver 1 if Garrett Wilson's not there.
My crush is still Drake London. I want the big dude. I want the guy who's
London
tall.
screams analytics.
I want somebody that is actually, well sized, that can be dominant. Because you know what, and obviously I think it would benefit Baker, but no matter who the Browns quarterback is, right? Like let's let's look at any
I'm sorry.
situation. Nah, you're
I'll
okay.
mute myself.
But any situation, no matter what you're presented with, having a dude who's significantly more of a freak than those around him seems like a good idea to me. I mean, how long has it been?
We love the freaks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Since Josh Gordon, right? At this point, since the Browns really had and Josh Gordon wasn't even that tall. I think he was like 6'2" or 6'3", which for a receiver is pretty good still. But how long has it been since the Browns really had like a dominant big receiver?
When do we ever get anyone big? That's my problem. Starting with the quarterback. You know how I feel about this, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, size matters.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
they passed on Mike Evans.
If you know me at all, you know that my thing is I want a quarterback that can see out over the offensive line. I wanted Josh Allen. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I was not a Baker fan. He shoved a flag in Ohio State. Boo on him. Once the devil put on the Browns jersey, I'm all in. I have Baker shirts. My kids have Baker jerseys.
Yeah.
I'm all for Baker. I'm still for Baker because I don't have another option. And like I've always said, if the devil's wearing a Browns jersey, I'm his biggest fan. That's just how it works.
What you said, Kelly, kind of leads into it's a very abbreviated nuance this week. But I do want to say that despite the fact that the 49ers didn't get to the Super Bowl, they were dominant in special teams and defensively and with the running game. And they did things really differently than basically all the rest of the teams that got to that point of the championship games, right? And so
the only team without elite quarterback play,
yeah. And so obviously you want elite quarterback play. Like that's your first choice. It's always going to be your first choice. But even if the Browns roll it back with Baker, and just upgrade the team around him, I think it's important to keep in mind that the best defense the Browns played was towards the end of the season, and we definitely know we're going to have a new kicker. We definitely know we're going to have a new punter. Well, I'd say we definitely know we're going to have a new punter, but definitely a new kicker.
You're not bringing back a 40-year-old punter. I'm going to just say that.
So there's a lot of no, right? And then like that stat just came out the other day with Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome being like 2 of the top 5 corners, and was it passer rating allowed? I think that was the stat.
Well, I think it's man coverage, but
man coverage. Sorry, man coverage. Grade and man coverage. So, but my point is that the Browns have a lot of potential pieces to be good overall as a team. And I think that was the biggest difference between the Rams and the Bengals, right? Is that when you look at the Bengals, you're like, okay, well, they have Joe Burrow and obviously great receiving weapons, but like Is their offensive line good? Not really. Is their defense good? Yeah, and their defense is cobbled together.
You got sacked 9 times in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, and
sell the farm, and go freaking get Tyler Lindenbaum for if you're Cincinnati, because Hopkins is the worst center I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So all I'm trying to say is that the Browns, at least at this point, are positioned to have a strong overall team, right? So I don't know what's going to happen with Baker Mayfield, but you're going to, and Jacob keeps getting us excited every week with all these draft prospects. It's not like the Browns don't have their picks, right? So you can still build an entirety of a good team that can, obviously, the 49ers were there and Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't like some world beater or anything. So I'm trying to find little pieces that encourage me because obviously the playoffs show you how important the quarterbacks are, but the rest of the team, it's not like that doesn't mean the rest of the team isn't, and so that's kind of my nuance for the day, is just that the Browns have these cornerstones on defense and are obviously going to upgrade in special teams. So there's still a lot there that you can continue to build on.
Just get 2 defenses. Just play 2 defenses because I'm sick of the offense.
Yeah.
Just let's be real. They're gonna get tired by the end of the game. Let's just play 2 defenses. They score more anyway.
I'm still mad because the Browns had the number 1 rushing offense in the league for a lot of the weeks of the season. I couldn't tell you exactly how many, but they did. And then it's like that was like Kareem Hunt gets hurt, Nick Chubb gets hurt, the offensive line gets banged up, all this stuff, and it shows you how good Stefanski's system is from that point, that they could still be. I think they finished 4th overall in rushing yards per game, and it just showed. Like I think there's so much potential here. Yes, the pieces didn't come together last year, but there's so much potential. I don't know. I'm getting off my platform now, my pedestal, but
Well, I mean, we could still pick up where we left off last season, and just the culture kind of got messed up this year. I think the Baker injury really set the tone for the season, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because look how well we played in game 1 against Kansas City. Like, we should have won that game. So, you know what I mean? Sure. And it just, that was coming off last season. So we still have that potential. And our defense is going to be way better than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm thinking I think we got a chance. I'm a homer. So, Super Bowl.
I love it.
That's right. Hey, I see Pat in the comments admiring this stash. Yeah. What's up, dude? You gotta roll with the stash sometimes.
Look at him; he's amazing.
All right, guys. I'm gonna bring Ashley and Ed back on. Kelly, I really appreciate the draft talk, the Homer talk, the firing me up on a Tuesday night talk. I love it. I appreciate that. We are hitting close to our hour mark, and I want to play a game. And Jacob, I don't know if yes.
I got 2 things. I want to connect this all because this is a Browns family. And I thought this was really cool. And I just looked this up. I thought it was really cool. So this is going to connect Columbus, Ohio and Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay. And you know what's cool? And did you know, Ashley and Kelly, that in the 1950s, a guy named Colonel Sanders and a guy named Dave Thomas from Columbus, Ohio, they were in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And they were going over different things. And that's where Dave Thomas gave Colonel Sanders the idea to sell chicken in the buckets. That is what KFC has done.
Is that real?
That is real. Another fun fact, too, the first professional baseball game ever played in Fort Wayne, Indiana was on May 4th, 1871, between your Cleveland Forest Cities and the Fort Wayne Kakiyangas. Yes. Those mighty fighting warriors they are. It was 2-0, and it was a rain delay in the top of the 9th. So that's what I have.
That's what Ed does. That's what Ed brings to everything. It's knowledge. It's
It's something. It's something.
I was a history major in college, so I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. See, okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I also put out a mock draft, and sometimes when I'm in the middle of the show, people ask me weird questions, and I have to answer them. Okay. Sorry, I'm so ADHD, it's not even funny. But
mocking around again. You're mocking around again.
Guys, I want to play this game And I want to talk about Baker Mayfield just one last time. I want to end this on the show. It is everything is about. There's like this group that's anybody but Baker group. I think it's out there and it's very interesting and stuff like that, where a lot of people just want to pick anybody that isn't Baker Mayfield. I'm not of that belief because I think he'll be healthy. So I think this year's Baker is better than 2021 Baker. I don't know how much better. That's the problem. I know it'll be better. I think definitively almost everybody, if they're being honest, will say, yeah, it'll be better, but where's the ceiling? So I think that's what – so I'm going to give you some names of quarterbacks that have been floated out there. And if you would take them or Baker, I don't want to talk about – for purposes of legality and morality, Deshaun Watson is not an option. He will not be on this option. It's not happening. But I'm going to ask all these names. We're going to go around. We'll go from Ashley to Ed to Kelly to Nick and just give me yes or no. If you have a, like if you're like, man, I want to actually speak about this, we'll go around the corner and then just kind of say, hey, I got something to say specifically about that. If you want to go in depth. So we'll get all these. I'm trying to lay these ground rules because I know when we were doing the mashup with the dog chug and there was like 8 of us on the screen, we all started talking at the same time. So we'll go around, but if anybody's got anything to say, we'll go there. So I'm going to throw out the names that you have heard. I've got a couple that I'm intrigued by for some colleagues of mine at Dog Pound Daily, and I talked about this and some things. So we're going to go around with some of that stuff. So we're going to start at the top, and we're going to start with Jimmy G. Jimmy G over Baker. Go around the circle.
Baker.
Okay. Ed?
Baker.
Oh, okay. Kelly?
Jimmy's kind of cute. I guess
Oh, goodness.
He is a hottie. He is a hottie.
He is.
He's a hottie.
Are you going with the hottie?
I'll stay with Baker.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nick?
No, I'm staying. I think if you're giving up what you'd have to get him to get him, like you're worse off when Jimmy's not like this significant upgrade. So no,
He has
Baker.
a noodle arm. The dude has a noodle arm.
Yeah. He doesn't have a noodle face, but he's got a noodle arm.
That's right.
Originally, I was saying yes, and then I just kind of like went back at a lot of the data and everything, and I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
Wow.
Whoa. Breaking news.
That
breaking
whole
news. I'm no
gaining
longer on
new
the Jimmy G.
information and changing your opinion. Very adult of you, Jacob.
Very adult. Very adult. Very adult.
I'm going to eliminate Derek Carr because it sounds like he's about to agree to a contract extension.
Yeah.
The answer is yes, by the way. But I'm going to eliminate Derek Carr because of the contract extension. So we're going to go to another one. And this one I think is fun. Like, I understand people like, this guy's not coming to Cleveland. That's not what I'm asking. I want to see where people stand. So the next one is Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Ed?
I would take him.
You know what? If my goodies. I know I'm talking about Sierra, his wife, but she wants no part of Cleveland. I'd take Russ Wilson. 5 years ago, I think he's been too banged up. And I think the way that the offense is with the Browns, I don't think he'd be changed much with him. So I think he's better probably. But like I said, what are we giving up to get him? And so I'm going to stick with my man, Baker. I'll ride with 6. I know the haters come after me, think I'm a Baker hater. Hey, this one's for you, Kyle Pringle. We love you. And baby Baker, that's a cute baby.
He is a cute baby. Kelly?
I'm staying with Baker and Kevin in the same system. Another year, it's going to be better.
Okay. Nick?
I can't do it. Give me Russell Wilson. I have to.
Son of a.
He's too
Not
good.
what you said on Saturday. It's not what he said on Saturday.
I changed my opinion. I can't. He's, you know what? Yes, he's been down the last couple of years, but he's had the crap kicked out of him. I don't think that would be the case.
His athleticism and ability to actually run on bootlegs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think the scheme is a fit for Russell. Like, I think it's a good fit, and that's.
I don't want to hear the facts here. I don't want to hear all this smart talk. Okay.
Cancel Anime is mad at you, Nick. He's gonna be mad at me too. It's just the delay. Yeah. His comment hasn't got in there yet.
I'm sorry, Cancel Anime. I'm sorry. I have to.
Okay. I don't like Aaron. I'm throwing out Aaron Rodgers. I don't like Aaron Rodgers.
Nah. He broke up with Shailene Woodley officially.
No, I know. Heartbroken.
I'm a no for Aaron Rodgers. I did like him but this year, especially like the last couple of years, I'm lost on him. He's not.
He's a weirdo. Dude's a weirdo.
He's not it.
He's a weirdo.
You know
He
what?
thinks he's it. He's not it.
Nah. Yeah.
I don't want to skip over Kelly. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not going Aaron Rodgers at all. I can't stand Green Bay. I can't stand him. No.
You played for Green Bay. No.
You know what? We had Odell Beckham on our team, and obviously couldn't even handle that. And Aaron Rodgers is like everything Odell Beckham is times like
At least
a
Aaron
million.
Rodgers, like Aaron Rodgers is Baker Mayfield, except he actually wins.
Yeah.
Odell actually combs his hair.
He's clutch.
Odell combs his hair on like.
You know what? You know what I saw a
He
stat
does it
though
with Kool-Aid too.
between Favre and Rodgers. Green Bay is 7-7 in their last 14 playoff home games. What?
I'd like to have,
What is going on?
I'd like to have 14 playoff home games in the
I
last
was
20
thinking
years.
the same.
But
thing.
Wait, you know what I'm
I think
saying?
Jacob, you're missing Nick's point here. You're missing. It's
They
supposed to be such a
don't-
home.
Why don't they win? You've had the elite quarterback play for going on.
I
what?
get it. The team
Yeah.
has never been built up well enough around Rodgers, but 1 year.
They scored 10 points against San Francisco. They needed to score
Yeah,
more.
yeah, I know that was on Aaron Rodgers. That was an awful game. He's bad in the playoffs, but I'll go to the playoffs every damn year, and I'll win.
You
a couple
will.
of
You
them.
will. You're right.
There's only one
player.
Yeah.
only one player ever had more MVPs than Aaron Rodgers.
Michael Jordan.
How many? No, it's Peyton Manning. But how many MVPs do we have in
Yeah,
the
I
last
get it.
3
Brian
decades?
Sykes. Brian
Well,
Sykes,
like,
1980.
Price,
Brian Sykes,
you would have
1980.
to give up a mountain to get a dude who's like 40, and then what? Like if the Browns give
No,
up.
I'm not. I already said no to Aaron Rodgers. I don't even know why we're arguing about this.
Sorry, I don't know.
All on the same page.
All right, Kirk Cousins.
I'm going with Baker still.
Okay, Ed.
I think Kirk Cousins is a good fit, but the problem with him is I think Baker is him, but how many years younger? He's a better thrower of the football. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins, because he's ran that system for so long, is cerebrally better. But I'll take the talent of Baker Mayfield's arm over Kirk Cousins. And besides Kirk Cousins, I don't know. He seems kind of he's kind of douchey. Seems kind of douchey. I don't know if that's the most appropriate word, but it just, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of got that feel. Yeah, she's nodding her head. I see the head's nod.
He is. He is.
I get it from him. I agree.
Yeah. So Baker all the way. Baker. Right with 6. You know, these people that come after me, especially, they're gonna love me. Watch this episode. I love Baker Mayfield.
You're a Baker bro.
I'm a Baker bro. I'm a Baker bro. I didn't know. I found out today I'm a Baker bro. And you know what? I can look myself in the mirror and be okay with that, I think.
That's all that really matters.
That's fine.
I love
yeah,
myself. I love me some me. I love me some me.
Kirk.
What do you think, Kelly?
I'm sticking with Baker. He's tough, and he played injured, and he deserves. I mean, I don't know. You can't deny his toughness, and he played his heart out and did love our city, especially Cheesecake Factory. But continue.
Got a lot of menu items.
So Kirk turns 34, or he would be 34, entering his first season as a Brown. This is like as borderline for me as it gets. He's no,
Nick's
you know what?
heel here.
You know what? I feel like people are prisoners of the moment lately with the way Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers have played, and Drew Brees have played into their late years. I don't think that's a thing that most quarterbacks typically do. I don't, and I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment, right? And you can fall off anywhere in your late 30s, mid 30s, whatever. I'm not doing what it takes to give up Kirk and paying him, you know, because I'm sure he'd want an extension. I can't do it.
No,
So
he wants money.
I can't.
Yes, I'll take Kirk Cousins.
I get it.
What you said, Nick, is they say like the first person to hit 150 years old has probably already been born, but that doesn't mean everyone's going to make it to 150. So I think I like
Kelly's dad's going to live forever.
Well, he's the one.
He's the exception. He's the exception.
Yeah.
There we go.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think that makes sense to me in my head how you explain that, because I'm like, yeah, that's unrealistic.
Baker has a higher ceiling. Kirk has a higher floor.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Somebody was that you that tweeted that, Jacob? Somebody tweeted.
I know, not me, but I'm
really
I'm stealing it.
Yeah, I really like how that they worded that because it's true. It's like Baker's floor is way lower, but his ceiling is a lot higher.
Way higher. Like
he's got ball
medium, or we can have one extreme or the other. I'd rather have one extreme.
Yeah,
he's
like
like being closer to the floor most of the time.
Because like if you're playing best possible outcome, like Kirk Cousins, like obviously you're a playoff team, but I don't know if you're winning a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. But like if you're playing best possible outcome with Baker Mayfield as like his second half of 2020, I think you're like right there to where you could, as long as the rest of your team is built up, I think you could.
Excuse me, I got a scenario. I got scenario on the Kirk Cousins, okay? Versus Baker. This is a very, very specific scenario. Cancel Anime says that he's a Baker bro. It shouldn't be too hard to tell. Yeah, we know that, man. We love you.
That's fine. I respect you.
That's fine. You're a respectful Baker bro. You're not like a shitty person, Baker bro. So
got a couple Twitter comments too. Brian Ferris says, hey guys, what would be your thoughts if Baker elected to get surgery right away and try not to play? I think we kind of answered that when you said that basically that Case Keenum would have played more and then it would have just been like Baker comes back. It would have proved
that Baker was better and we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, because I think Baker would be a seamless transition back to Baker. And I think Baker would be back to his 2020 form, which is
he was really good before the injury.
Great question, though, Brian. Thanks for saying
that. It was a great question. But I think, we wouldn't have this. We would not be playing this game right now. I'd have to come up with another one.
So get a late round QB if Baker doesn't produce like we need to. So what are you thinking about this?
I took Bailey Zappi in the 4th round today.
I like that. I like that pick, and I think that goes to Nick Little's point. Let's get a late round QB like that or a 4th round pick like Zappi. I think that,
Give me Bailey Zappi. If for some reason Carson Strong is in the 3rd round, you take Carson Strong in the 3rd round. He's got a knee issue, but and he can't move. He's an absolute statue, but he's got a cannon.
You know what the thing that hurts about Baker getting hurt so much is he was on the field for his 2nd year in the system, but he wasn't developing his 2nd year in a system, and that's
with Freddie.
Luckiest part.
No, this year.
No, with the fancy.
Oh, this year.
Second year in a system. Yeah. That's what we looked forward to all off season was his first second year in a system. Actually, funny thing about that, I might be talking about that in my upcoming Baker article. I know I keep circling back to that, but I'm going to be working on that. I'm really happy with the direction of it.
It's the even years that get Baker. It's the 2nd year. It's the 4th. You know what I'm saying? It's maybe
here's the specific Kirk scenario, and then I have one more, and it's a wild card. You guys are not ready for this one.
Oh God.
So let's say. Do I agree that week 15, 2020 Baker versus the Giants was the best of Baker we've ever seen? I think the best Baker I've ever seen was week 7 against the Bengals because there was absolutely no way he was going to lose that game. Mm-hmm. But against the Giants, he was not going to lose that game. That 5 touchdown performance when he because he was so bad for that first quarter and then he just destroyed. He was not going to be denied.
I agree.
He was really good against the Giants in week 15. I know they didn't score a ton of points, but the Giants were never in the game. And if he had needed to turn it up, he could have. So yes, that's probably right up there in the top 5. But I think the him against the Bengals where he threw 5 touchdowns is the best he's ever been. And he was really good against the Steelers in the playoffs.
Yes, he was.
So this is the scenario. Let's say it's Kirk or Baker for 1 year, and that's it. So what I mean is we're going to have a quarterback in 2022 that is not the quarterback in 2023. So let's say that you either have Kirk Cousins this year or Baker this year, and you're planning to draft, potentially sell the farm, trade up, get a CJ Stroud, get a Bryce Young, something like that. So you're like in this scenario, Minnesota eats a good chunk of Kirk's salary because if they trade him before June 1, they have to eat like 10 million of it. So let's say they're eating that, or it's Baker, and you're going to move on. Which one of them gives you the best chance for sure this year? So it's a 1-year rental of either Baker or Kirk. And this is totally crazy hypothetical. And then they draft another guy. So if that's the case, which one is it? Does that change your opinion?
Can I go last on this one?
Yes, Nick. We'll start with Nick.
Yeah.
I was hoping you went first because I was.
No, I think that incentivizes me even less to trade for him, to give up stuff for him, right? So I still have to. That's probably as tempting as it gets, I think. But I still have to go Baker.
I'm not ready for the Baker wars to end. I'm going Baker all the way.
Are you still with
drama.
Baker,
I
Kelly?
love drama. I would miss it. We get Kirk Cousins, and there's still. You know what it would be if we got Cousins? It'd be the same thing. It'd be the Cousins wars. It would be the same thing. And you know what? I've been doing it with Baker for this long, so I ride with 6 on the field, but I also ride with the Baker wars. You know,
I'm keeping Baker. I like the commercials. I like the progressive.
You're keeping Baker because you like.
I'm drama.
Nick, I'm glad you brought that up because for what we'd have to give up something to get Cousins. We already have Baker, so if we're not having either of them anyway, after I think Baker for sure.
Okay, I'm still taking Kirk.
Jacob, you brought up this in the discussion the one day, and I think it was probably my favorite one of everyone of any of them, and I'd like to present it. So I would like to throw Justin Fields' hat into the ring of this little game.
You get me hot,
that's
Nick.
That's stupid. It's Justin Fields. It's not even a question.
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking, right? That's your answer.
Justin Fields, and I'm insulted that you even asked.
Nick, you want to hear my answer?
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh.
You know why? I've seen Justin Fields play, and you know I like him. And
That's what happens when you say something stupid.
Whoa, you can't do that, Ed.
That was good. Hey, catch me on the dog chug later on tonight. Well, Andy will probably be doing that more than that. That was great.
I had to do it because I knew it would take him a second, but as soon as he realized I did it, that he would die.
It took me like 15 seconds, honestly. It took me longer than I thought.
He was still talking. I can hear him.
I was still talking.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna go Baker.
I'm sorry. Your wife's shaking her head, so I would like to. I don't know. Wait, Kelly, what do you think?
Oh, I'm going Justin Fields all day.
Okay.
All day. Go against Lamar Jackson. Let's go.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Ashley?
I know he's usually more of a mobile quarterback, but when we played him, I was like,
yeah.
Right.
I was at that game. That was the game we were trying to meet up, and I was just like,
yeah.
This guy. Oh, but
you're putting him on our team, though.
I know. God, that's tough.
I feel like just for the fact of what we've dealt with Baker for the last few years, I think I might have to go with Justin Fields just because he's got more of that, he still has that potential in there, and the running thing really gets me.
We've never had a mobile
rookie contract for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I ride with 6 though. I ride with 6.
I'm Ohio State honker too, so that's the best of both worlds for me.
You know what? I am a real sucker for that rookie contract. I'm a real sucker for it. And I think Justin Fields played some really good football down the stretch, which is the same trap as Baker. But I guess I'm getting younger and more athletic, and I'm taking Justin Fields.
A lot taller too. A lot taller.
I mean, Baker's had a higher level of play, has reached a higher level of play, but nowhere near nothing consistent. So yeah.
He's always 6 in clutch situations. Like look at this year.
Yeah, the final 2 minutes, Kelly.
We know he can be good, but can he be clutch?
I know that
we don't know about Justin Fields, but I mean, I think if you want to talk about ceilings, my guess is his ceiling's higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has more raw talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still going with Baker. Baker haters. All of y'all Baker haters.
Wait, if you're a woman that's a Baker bro, are you a Baker broad?
Now you are.
I would consider myself a Baker bro, but I feel like I'm a Baker broad.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Hey,
I like it.
Absolutely.
I like gender. Yeah.
You heard it here first.
I have one more.
Trademark that sucker. Get the
I love it, Ashley.
made. Let's go. Let's make some money here.
This is the last one. Jordan Love. You don't know, do you? None of you know. You're all like, shit.
Did Snoop Dogg give you some of that weed?
Jordan Love.
Got a contact buzz through the.
You got a contact buzz watching the Super Bowl halftime show.
Jordan Love would be the best quarterback in this class. So if you're telling me to draft a quarterback, you're telling me go get Jordan Love. He's the best quarterback in this class. He's only
Kevin Love.
Are you ready for this? He's 23. He's younger than Kenny Pickett.
Well, I'm gonna start that one up, and I'm gonna say no, thank you. And even in his limited action, it has not been super promising, right? So I'm good there. I'm certainly good there. I'm gonna go no.
Kelly?
That's an easy no for me. Baker Rod.
I think there's enough love in Cleveland already. I don't think we need him.
Now you know what? You're right. Philly is the city of brotherly love. We already got Kevin Love. We don't need Jordan Love. I'm with that. Baker Mayfield. Baker Reagan Mayfield.
Wait,
I know what you're going to Jacob, just say.
Jacob's leaning into the mic like he's got something intense to say, and he says Jordan Love.
Jacob, go ahead and say.
I was ready. I don't know what I was ready for, but I was really ready, and I was like,
"What do you mean?"
Back. Just Jacob, say his name.
What do you mean? Okay, hold on. First off, Crazy King says, "What? I'm with the rest. What are you smoking?" I never said pick Jordan Love. I'm asking all of you. I didn't say he was better.
Who would you pick?
I was just playing the scenario. Don't kill the. First off, what do you mean it's not a great question? It is a great question because you all had to think about it. You all went, shit. I don't know. And listen, I know you all definitively came to a group conclusion, but it was a good question.
What's your answer?
No, but it's fun.
Okay, so did Ed pick Baker for every single one?
I did. I love Baker. I was 6.
And Jacob almost went against Baker on every single
No, I only took Kirk and Russell. The only ones I would take is Kirk and Russell.
And Justin Fields.
Yeah, he switched on
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is one of those ones where he's not.
And you're still thinking on Jordan Love right now, so don't even lie.
Yeah, you know you like it, Jacob. You know you do.
The Blue Man Chew. You know you can't. It just brings out the love.
Well,
I don't know. I thought like Jacob was gonna throw us like some huge curveball. I was ready for like.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it was a curveball. It just with the pause beforehand and the buildup.
Daniel Jones.
Oh, come on.
I know. I couldn't say it with a straight face.
Tyler Heineke.
No, I don't. I don't like Heineke.
Let's get Tony Romo out of retirement.
Oh God, no.
Get him out of the booth. Come on down.
Wait, hold on.
Romo in the ear commercial, though. I love that commercial. I'm like, I wish I could have one of those. Yeah. So I knew what I was talking about.
Tyler Huntley. Okay. So I'm not so stupid now, am I?
Yeah, Jacob, nobody. I wasn't.
No, you're just a Baker hater.
I said no.
No, you're not getting the Baker Broad shirt from Ladies' Night.
Yeah. You guys know what's so funny? I found that draft. I don't know. Somebody hacked me, but I found the draft. I don't know where that hack came from.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, I was hacked, but I did find it. I don't know. They just left it here.
Don't let your friends draft a quarterback in the top 50 this year. They suck.
That's very much true.
Do you think there's gonna be one that ends up being like super successful and everyone's gonna be like, why did they all wait on this dude? Like, is it gonna be another one of those drafts?
Dustin Crum from Kent State.
Oh, stop. Stop.
There have
Chase Garbers from California.
Oh, Jesus.
This could be. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Malik Willis, if you can let Malik Willis go and develop like Josh Allen, he has the talent to be really good. He's not going to get it. He's going to go top 10 and they're going to try to start him right away. Like, the dude cannot read a defense. He always throws a fastball, has no touch, but
Akil Glass, Alabama A&M.
Okay. All right, Nick.
All right, you've been getting Snoop stuff. Stop.
This show has developed into just.
It's been a good one. You know, I love I love, and so I want to thank Kelly and Ashley both. I love, especially when we have the pleasure of bringing a guest on, and like, you also take the reins of the conversation and like, flip stuff back and like ask, and both of you really did that, and I love that kind of input. So I think I speak for all of us when I say we really appreciate you both taking the time to hang out with us tonight. We love having women on the show as well, because there's so many great members of Brown's Twitter, and just the media and all of it. But when I focus on Brown's Twitter, because that's how we're all sitting here, right?
Yep.
And so the more that we can help to continue to bring voices to everyone, I think the better. And so thank you both for joining us. I know you both use the said Brown's Twitter, so if you want to tell them where to find you, feel free.
Everyone knows Kelly is the best.
Kelly is the best.
Kelly
With a
is the
Z
best.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a Z. Yeah.
My mom's name is Kelly, so I was like, I remember your name forever because it's already in there.
Leroy Kelly.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm named after.
Yeah, my Twitter handle is Ashley in the Fort, because I live in Fort Wayne. But
Awesome.
I also want to give a shout out to my friend Emily. She told me to shout her out. She actually went to Normandy, Nick. She's
really?
A year ahead of you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fellow invader. Hello.
Yeah. Her Twitter handle is like MG Tree, or I think it's MG Tree something. But yeah, I had to say hi to her because she's a big fan of Brown's Twitter and you guys and everything too. So
That's awesome.
I want to shout out my Padua Bruin friends that I met over the weekend, Nick, that Nick introduced me to.
It's funny because like
them.
people here, it's a smaller town, Fort Wayne is, and people are like, "Oh, you're from Cleveland, do you know so and so?" And I'm like, it's not like that. Like unless they're from like my actual part of Parma, not even Parma, but like the part I live in, I probably have no idea who you're talking about because there's 5 high schools in Parma, and my graduating class was 400 people, and Nick, yours is probably just as big.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's not like that, but like it's funny because you see people on Twitter and like somebody knows somebody that knows somebody still. So small world.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Shout out to Nick's better half, Avita, too. She was awesome, taking me in on Saturday night, and that pizza from Stancatos, was that?
Yeah, Stancatos.
Great place. And Nick was the hospitable host, and him and Avita did a nice job. So shout out to them. Shout out.
You didn't keep him, Nick. You were supposed to keep him.
You know what? If I could have kept him, I absolutely would have.
Bro hugs, Nick. Bro hug.
Guys, I can't thank you enough, though. I know Nick said it. I can't thank you guys enough for joining us tonight, taking time out of your a day to, chat with us and play my stupid games and listen to my.
It was a great game.
Look at my stupid Fu Manchu for an hour and a half and just.
I love it.
Just
when
kinda
are you
shoot the
shaving
shit.
it? How
That
long
was
is
really
it?
the highlight, I think, was the Fu Manchu for
Yeah.
me.
How long
Hey,
is it?
now.
How long you keeping it?
I don't know. Last time it didn't last long.
How about you keep it until Nick shaves his mohawk?
That's
with
not
that.
fair.
I was thinking I would like just come on and surprise people one day with mohawk.
Well, you gotta dye it orange.
Oh,
The guy in
diet
Jeopardy's got a
orange!
mohawk.
Wow,
The
That
champion
was-
on Jeopardy.
that
He's
was
got a purple one.
We're like fully just going back to high school and like doing that solidarity thing and just dyeing my hair.
Or like a Browns helmet.
I like it. Guys, seriously, thank you so much. Nick, get us out of here.
Just a quick thank you to our wonderful people at Zabo Apparel. Was talking to them today because our new shirt giveaway for all of our Patreon members is going to go live soon. So if you don't know about our Patreon, you will find out more details. I always put it in the YouTube description as well. So, and we both have it linked in our profile. So thank you to them. Thank you for all their great gear.
Tackle film study Saturday night for the Patreon.
Tackle film
Tackles,
study.
right.
Jacob's just out here being the real MVP. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. And this has been a fantastic episode. So this has been episode 43, the John Johnson episode. Every week I'm like, wow, how did this even happen? So a very special thank you. Ooh, I'm going to get it right, to our friend Ashley and Ed's wonderful. Oh, I can't. There we go. Ed's wonderful wife, Kelly. Right. I'm not used to being down in this corner. So he's Jacob and there's Ed. Well, I'm trying to find it. And I'm Nick. And as always, go Browns.
It-
Go Browns!